Chris Mason, the Ace Mason, alongside me, and we've also got Chris Murphy along for the ride tonight. Between the three of us, we'll bring you all 7 commentaries tonight here on talkSPORT 2 of the night 7 in the Premier League 2025. You are listening to Premier League Darts live on talkSPORT 2 in partnership with Village Hotels. Dine out, stay, work out and play. Visit villagehotels.com. And in about 10 minutes time we'll be going live on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel as well. If you fancy that, if you want to watch us in vision whilst these games are ongoing, we've got live free watch-alongs on our talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, and you don't just get the watch-alongs there as well, you get loads of brilliant content. Mace, how you doing? Nice to see you.
I'm good, great to be back. Sat down and watched it last week. It was absolutely immense. The curse of the 9-darter was evident again with Humphries and then Rob Cross, but it was massive for Gerwyn Price last week. He needed to find a win from somewhere. He's been playing some lovely stuff. His numbers are stacking up, but the results just haven't been coming. And for him, his Dublin was very, very good.
It's about the protection of players in the top 16.
But I didn't name any. I don't like all the moaning. There's still the same amount of qualifying positions there. So you've got to play on a Friday. You're professional players.
Yeah.
You're not in the Premier League anyway. So there's nothing. Go out on the Thursday and prepare properly. Invest in yourself. No, I don't understand all the moans.
And if you play yourself in on the Friday, then you're
playing against someone who's cold.
Yeah, and I'm ready to take on anybody the next day when the top 16 turn up.
For me, it's an advantage, especially if you draw one of the Premier League players who played Thursday night, scrambled around on Friday to get there. Right, get to the venue Saturday. Their head's going to be in the shed.
Exactly, never going to be ideal. 6 of the 8 Premier League players here are going out to Gottlieb for the European Darts Trophy. First time that this particular trophy is being held in about 7 years at the weekend. But Luke Littler is not going out there, and I think the other one who's not going out there is, let me see now, it's Bunting.
Yeah, well,
next.
I'm loving this from Littler, picking and choosing. That's what all the players should be doing. They should be looking at what he's doing, and why does he look so fresh all the time? Well, because he gives himself the best opportunity in the most important tournaments.
Yes.
Humphries is very much the same. He's the consummate professional, and that's how you got to be. You can't moan on on a podcast going, oh, I'm tired. Well, you've been off doing exhibitions, trying to do pro tours, then jetting from one place to the other. Manage your diary and prioritise the events that are the most important.
I think our YouTube viewers have joined us by now on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel ahead of our first.
Did you not get the pink memo?
I didn't get the pink memo. Laura didn't get the burgundy memo the other week off Nico. Should mention as well, incidentally, that after tonight, the quarter-final draw for next week in Newcastle is going to be based on how the table looks at the end of tonight. So we don't know who's facing who yet, but the way that this table shapes up by the end of this evening will have bearings on who meets who.
Littler against Bunting, then I suppose they're going to go 1v8.
Yeah, I think that's the idea, 1-8, 2-7 and so on and so forth.
Well, interestingly, during that whole piece with Lee, the
betting, you were nodding sagely.
They've changed a little bit. Doby's been backed in. They're both 10-11 now, so one's drifted half a point, the other one's come in half a point. I thought Doby at even money was a sound bet, especially when you look at some point. But look, Bunting's average in terms of what he's faced so far across the board is over 103. So everybody's been showing up against him, and he may have superior stats to Doby, but Doby knows how to win, and that's been the difference so far, or win a couple of games.
Bunty's problem has been 180 hitting. I think he's hit the fewest.
Yeah,
but that's almost, you'd almost expect to say that because he's played the fewest games, because he's not got through past the quarter-final yet.
But the 180 tally, if you do it 180s per legs played, he's still well off the pace. And I mean, he's only at 18 in his whole campaign, where if you look at Littler, he's at 70. Yeah. Well, but obviously played more games by hitting more 180s per legs played in terms of percentage will give you opportunities at doubles. What I've noticed, he's just been getting scraps, and then because the opportunities are few far in between, that when he's getting those opportunities, he's just flapping at them slightly. But his average, his mean average across the board, 98.79. Well, that's higher than Price.
It's
higher than MVG. It's higher than Aspinall. It's just off the pace from Cross, higher than Doby. So, the game's there, but that's a bit misleading because it's more of a scoring average because of the so few opportunities. He's had 48 darts at a double so far in this campaign. Both Luke Littler and Gerwyn Price have had 170 darts at a double. Littler, so that's the opportunities created. 135 for Gerwyn, 156. They've all had way more, almost 3 times as many.
Yeah, when Lee was mentioning Littler to hit the most 180s, I thought, well, that's not much of a stretch, seeing as he's way clear on 180s.
That's like selecting him to hit double 10.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. He's way ahead in the 180 hitting. I make it that he has hit 70 maximums. Humphries is next on 41.
Yeah, and listen, we know how many 180s Luke hit, so to be 29 in front is some going, but yeah, when he's in the mood and he's right, he is an absolute machine. But he didn't have it all his own way at Players' Championship 5 and 6. Don't get me wrong, it took some incredible performances, one especially from Dom Taylor. I actually commentated on that match, and it was incredible. But
yeah, I was watching him as the Tower Taylor. It's funny, you got Phil the Power Taylor, now you got Dom the Tower Taylor. Very no relation, tall kid.
It's from my part of the world, isn't he?
Yeah,
originally
tall kid. Watching him, he really launches the dart at the board.
Well, he throws everything down. He's 6'6".
Yeah. So
he sort of looks down on everything, which is it's quite hard for the taller players.
But he got to the semis of the PC 8, I think.
Yes, he
was down as favourite, but ended up losing out.
Yeah, he's a fine. Yeah, in a game that I certainly expected him to win, but he's certainly one to watch in the future. Again, another player that I've seen lots of down at the Super Series. So a product from that environment, really, where he learnt a lot of his trade, and now he's up at the level of having a tour card.
And it's really funny, here we are in mid-March, and already people are thinking about their ranking in terms of the match play, which will bring you in July on talkSPORT 2 from the Winter Gardens in Blackpool once again. But it's funny how people there's already jockeying for position.
Well, it's massive in terms of ranking position and of the prize money on offer going forward in that. You win a couple of games in that, it's the equivalent to winning, getting to a final and winning a Pro Tour. That's how big the prize money and the prestige, of course. It's an event that the players love because it's the type of darts and in the type of environment that the players want to play in.
Yeah, all sorts of people jockeying to get into the 16 qualification positions below the top 16 in the order of merit that automatically qualify. So the top 16 always make it, and then for the match play it's the next 16 on the Pro Tour order of merit. So you got
currently missing out on it at the moment.
Yeah.
Ross Smith, Josh Rock, Dimitri won it a few years ago. Mike De Decker not in. Michael Smith not in. Actually they are in.
It's Ratajski that's missing out.
Yes, they're on the other
who's a regular
ranking
that we know there. Callan Ridds, who we've seen before at the Winter Gardens, although they've had decent runs lately. Kim Hybrex, who's
Ryan Joyce isn't currently in a qualifying position.
Dimitri's the one I'm concerned about more than anybody else. Dimitri Vandenberg,
Michael Smith's not going to make it.
No, not played well at all, those two guys this year. And Brendan Dolan, as we mentioned, who's not been involved in Players' Championship events for the first
Gilding
time.
Currently not in it.
Wow. But players like Jermaine
Gilding is just on the secondary rankings.
Jermaine Watamina is just about in there, the machine gun, who's been playing much better this year. But we are ready for our first game tonight. The Cardiff Utilita Arena awaits. Been to the Utility Arena many times in its previous guises, previous names to watch rock gigs, and here it is hosting darts. It's fantastic. And Chris Dobey, fueled by a bit of PJ Duncan, is making his way to the stage. He'll have had a very, very happy Sunday watching his beloved Newcastle United win the Carabao Cup.
I don't think there'd be any neutrals that didn't have a smile on their face seeing Newcastle win that.
No.
I got a couple of Geordies that drink in the pub, and they were absolute. Well, they came in Tuesday if the darts were still celebrating.
And we're all thinking of our mate Nico as well, who's been waiting such a long time to see the Magpies get some success. And Doby, who wears the black and white of his beloved Newcastle on his dart shirt, he's on the stage now as the pyros go off. Just takes the acclaim of the thousands of darts fans inside. It's a brilliant arena, the Utilita Arena. Really holds the sound in fantastically well. And now they're about to sing their hearts out because one of the more popular walk-ons is about to kick in, courtesy of the Bullet, Stephen Bunting, who's yet to win in the Premier League, but he doesn't appear to be too fazed by the fact he's still on 0 points. Still a very popular figure, and always a glass half full merchant, Stephen Bunting.
Yeah, there is always a fear. There's been players over time that Michael Smith potentially went in a bit early, put him on the back foot for a couple of years. Andy and Hamilton never recovered. Wes Newton never really recovered. Webby You know, it is tough. And listen, Peter Wright finished bottom 2 consecutive years running, and the effect it has on you. I mean, Bunty was desperate to be in it. I wonder if he still feels the same way now.
Well, he's waited 10 years. 10 years to play in the Premier League, and he wasn't going to pass up the opportunity. And whilst he has yet to get off the mark, as Chris Mason alongside me has been saying in our build-up, he's been averaging over 100 regularly in these matches, but just had no luck. He's been up against players who've been beating him to a finish and getting themselves over the line. A reminder that it's 1st to 6 in all of these matches. Quarter-final, semi-final and final. Best of 11 legs, no draws.
That arena's absolutely bouncy.
It is bouncy.
There's not a seat to be had anywhere. I was just scanning everywhere to see if there was any seats. There isn't.
They love their darts, and you have to remember that there's not much PDC darts that comes
This is it.
to Wales.
Apart from exhibitions.
Yep, it's the same as Dublin, really.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's a crying shame when you think historically how important Wales has been for darts, right from 1974 and Alan Evans.
Leighton Rees, and so on and so forth. We do have a Welsh scorer up there. Hugh Ware is our referee this evening. You'll hear his dulcet tones before too long, but the players are just going through their 9 dart practice
It'll
routines.
be interesting to see the finals at the O2 this year, because it's such a vast arena. That's always been somewhat of a tough sell, hasn't it, finals nights? We will be there, of course, bringing you the final from the O2.
Yeah.
But I think this year, on the back of the Littler effect, I don't think there's going to be a seat to be had in there.
I think you could have 2 O2s and might manage to
That'd
get
be
rid of
an
all the
04.
tickets. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's double it. Perfect. So, a few last practice darts being thrown, and then we can get night 7 underway in earnest here on talkSPORT 2 and on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Humphries against MVG will be next, then Littler, Aspinall and Price against Cross. That's the quarter-final lineup, but we're starting with Bunting against Doby, and Chris Dobey won the ball.
Yeah, more
backstage.
bad news for Bunty, especially in this short race. Throw could turn out to be everything. And Doby himself, you know, he's due a run. He's due to go up there and put in a bit of a big performance that we know and that we've seen and what we've commentated on in the Worlds, that match against Rob Cross, which he ultimately went on to lose, that we covered on talkSPORT 2 from Ali Palio, and that was remarkable. It was one of the greatest games I've had the pleasure of commentating on.
Proper seesaw encounter that was.
Well, he won the first session 4-1 effectively, lost the next session, didn't he, by the same scoreline.
So underway, Doby 3-4-4 to Bunty's 3-0-2, so just slightly ahead Bunty after 6 darts apiece, but looking for a maximum here, Doby.
Yeah, once he gets his scoring boots on, he's finding that top end of the treble 20. He is a remarkable player to watch. Bunty from 3-0-2, starting on 18s, only a single, back to the 18s after a small 20, so already 42 points to lead for Doby. 2-0-4, leg 1 of the opening match. Single 20, comes for cover, finds the green bit twice. Down to 70.
So Bunty will want ton plus from this visit. Drifts into treble 5 next door, but a good readjustment back into the 60 and another treble 5 to end up with 90. So he's on a finish, but Doby, chance for a 2-dart kill. 52 left, 20 will leave double 16. And he's just on the wire outside. This would, I mean, Bunty's taken a 170 checkout so far.
He has.
In these championships, so 156 shouldn't be beyond him, but it will be on this occasion, just a single 20.
Yeah, Doby back. Double 16, 3 in hand.
So, Doby loves a bit of double 16, as proved by that first dart. So he holds throw, Hollywood, to get us underway. Bunty, who was ahead against Price last week, but ended up losing another quarter-final. The only player of the 8 yet to register on the leaderboard. Dobey with this very mechanical action.
Direct, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fundamentally absolutely sound. It's a small 5 from. But I do worry for Bunty because he's quite a sensitive fella.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't have more opposite to that of, say, someone like Gerwyn Price or Rob Cross or some, players that are ultimately full of so much confidence. I think he just needs a win and he can build on that, but
needs a few 180s. He might get one here. There you go.
Right,
first
on
one
cue.
of the night. They're on their feet, making a right old racket.
But he's down to 143. Doby from 301 finds a 140 down to 161. So a little bit of time for Bunty here, because it's imperative that he doesn't get broke in the early stages, because Doby will just run away with it. Single 20, single 19, single 18. Only 57, so down to 86. Treble 20, treble 17 ball. Doesn't get the first treble 20. Almost sarcastically asks you, where is that in?
Yeah, he's trying to do a Ryan Searle, claiming he can't see Chris Dobey.
He had a 9, didn't he? It was beautiful.
He did,
to
beautifully.
win the opening match of the day, I think.
That was the first leg of the day almost, wasn't it? From Ryan Searle. 86 for Bunty, hits single 18, treble 18, will hit double 7, one dart at it. Oh, he's just on the wire.
And that's been a story of his campaign.
Allowing Doby a chance here, Mace. Treble 10 for double 16. Oh, he's at treble 15.
So yeah, 17 left, so 1 for double 8. Gets the 1, just.
Only. And he pins double 8. That's an act of escapology from Chris Dobey to break throw and break Stephen Bunting's spirit just a wee bit early on in this one. 2-0 to Doby.
And again, that is very much the theme of what's happened to Bunty so far this season. But that's a big blow, and it's a 15 dart break of throw, 1 missed dart at a double for Stephen Bunting on double 7. Not the nicest double in the world. And Doby started with 40. Bunty unable to punish, because this is why I talk about not getting too emotionally invested in darts, because it affects everything you do. It affects your approach, it affects your aggression levels.
What do you think this situation that Bunty finds himself in has had any bearing on the fact that he's not going to the European Darts Trophy at the weekend?
I don't think he wants to go away and get on a stage and get beat again.
Instead, he'll go back to Doby's hometown of Newcastle next week and maybe playing Luke Little if he can't get himself off the foot of the table. And
that's another place with incredible atmosphere, isn't it?
Yes, right by the Tyne.
Especially this week. After the weekend,
might be a few sore heads even by next Thursday.
Yeah, they'll be jumping.
270 Doby, 244 Bunting in leg 3, Mace.
Yes, and a bit of an opportunity for Bunty possibly to get a break back. 2 single 20s from Doby, so he's going to have to readjust. Oh, it just finds treble 1 right in the corner. Treble 20, of course, with the left in the 170. 244 Bunty, minus C, single 20 and low, and that's another indication of stress and pressure.
Yeah, he's under pitching a lot, but a good treble 18 cover does get him down to a 150 outshot when he comes back. But Doby from 227 looking to eat into that. Another dart drifts, this time into treble 5. Only 95 scored.
Down to a pretty little finish, 132. But Bunty wants 150. Treble 20 is found. Could stay there. It's a good guide. Opted to switch. I'm not sure about that, Bunty. But 98 anyway takes him to 52. Doby will be going bull. Oh my goodness.
He's hit single 2, I think, there. So treble 20. So he can't hit a double. Trying to lay up as best he can. 80 scored, so he's on 52 like Bunty. Now to break back, Stephen Bunty. 12 for tops or 20 for double 16? 20. Double 16 required. He's inside by an inch. Double 8. Yes. Break back for Stephen Bunting, and it's 2-1 in a race to 6.
That'll make him feel a whole heap better, won't it? Just to get it with your last dart, where the normal energy of dread would just be banished. And look at the response. 2 treble 20s, very nearly a second max. But we're back on throw.
Doby's going to the European Darts Trophy in Germany this weekend. He'll be playing on Saturday. He'll play the winner of Germain Watamina and Mario Cantelet, who are playing in their Friday match.
He'll be playing Germain Watamina.
Chance for a max for Bunty. His second of the night. Well, this is so consistent with what he's been doing. He's good averaging. He needs to hit more 180s. That's up to 20 180s he's hit now in the Premier League, which is quite a lot fewer than most. Doby hit 30 before the start of the night.
Incredibly, he's yet to have one, and he's the one we expect to find the maxes.
But there's 3 more underneath the red bit from Bunting.
Yeah,
after the max.
Just engaging the tricep. There's just too much tension in the arm. But Doby's just gone missing here.
So 1-2-1 for Bunty to make it all square at 2 apiece. Looking at the 25, hits 18.
He's gone for the ball with dart 1 because that just eliminates any thoughts about going for the ball, because you're not going to go for it. If you win a 25, leaves you 96, a combination of a 20 and a treble, or a treble and a single. But
brilliant
3 treble 18s to leave 140. I expect Bunty to go very close here. He's gone for the ball. I'm not sure about that. 41 left, double 16 remaining. Oh, wow. I'm sure you could hear how close that was because it clipped the wire. That was that noise.
Well, Doby 140 gettable, but not with a single.
He loves double 16, right? He's just it.
Yeah.
3 treble 18s. Why not go treble 18, double 16? Answers on a postcard.
Don't start thrilling me with logic, Chris Mason. The logic. We want the madness of darts. For 2-2, double 16 Bunty. Again, clips the wire like the previous dart. It is a bit. Shifts across to the right. He's too far inside. Double 8 next door. And he's missed that.
And he didn't reposition his feet. He didn't go back to his usual position. He just stayed where he was and threw it. And this could be costly. It could be 3-1.
Double 14 for Doby. He's an inch outside. A little closer. If he goes the same distance again, he'll pin it. He's too far inside. Hits a single 14.
Well,
so
he moved about 2 foot to the right to try and get a line in, and of course that makes you further away, so there's loads of adjustments that have to be made. But Bunty's found the double. It's a real scruffy game, this one. Both of them averaging mid-80s, and well, for Doby this is well below par.
2 apiece in a race to 6 on talkSPORT 2. A reminder, if you're just tuning in to either talkSPORT 2 or the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, that Stephen Bunting of St Helens yet to win in this year's Premier League, but he's been averaging over 100. Chris Dobey, he made the Belfast final in week 1 and hasn't won since.
That's another incredible stat, isn't it?
Yeah. That getting to that final in week 1.
Well, I thought that would kick him on.
Well, I felt that was kind of a justification to those who said, what's Chris Dobey doing in the Premier League this year? Because there were some dissenting voices. As we always do when we get together at the World Championships, we all try and come up with our 8. And
we do it twofold. We come up with the 8 who we think will be in. We come up with our own 8 who we think deserve to be in.
Yeah. And the Venn diagram meets most of the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Bunty is in for another maximum. 140 will have to do. But on the Doby throw, he's got a chance here, but Doby wants 170, which won't go here with a single 20 to start. So, mate, 87 for Bunty, 2 dart kill, and he goes ahead with a break of throw.
Well, if Bunty can't beat Doby in this form, then I fear the worst for him going forward in the Premier League, because this is a Doby well off the pace. Ball for Bunty for 3-2. Oh, finds the green bit.
Just to the north and west of the ball. So 74 for Doby. That's a 2 dart kill. Treble 14 would leave double 16. 60 left, so 20 tops. Shifting out to the Oki just to see the bed, but he's over the top of tops. So Bunty's back for 9 double 8.
He's had 3 darts at double 14, didn't even scare it. He's had a dart at tops there that was a good inch over the top. The 9 is found for Bunty. Double 8, a long way off with dart 1. Oh, dart 2 was a mile away. Dart 3 was further away.
Yeah, he's already pinned double 8 twice tonight, but not there. Tops for Doby to hold throw. No, he's just underneath. splits it, double 10 on the wire outside. It's a good marker. Can he use it? Yes, he can. And it's the fifth leg where you can hear the crowds behind. They're definitely behind Bunty here.
Well, he's very much captured the imagination of the punters with his TikTok stuff, which I don't have a clue what it is because I don't have it. No surprise.
No.
But yeah, he's got a huge following, and I think people have embraced that and they enjoy the fun element that he's brought to that side of things, because you know, all in all, it's all business when they're up there, isn't it? It's serious stuff, playing for mega money. What
you're picking out with the way that Doby's been on the outer ring tonight is very consistent with his form. He does have the lowest checkout average of all 8 players up to this point as we reach night 7 of the Premier League. Before tonight it was 34%, which isn't bad. Most dart players are happy with 40%. It's not woeful.
40% is very much sort of the real elite end of our sport.
Yeah.
Anything over like 33 is 1 in 3. So if you've got 3 darts in hand, you've got a double, you can hit it. And most people would
bite your hand off there.
Yeah.
Well, Doby's looking for a max. And he's got one. His first of the night.
Eventually.
But it's not taking him down to a finish. Trying to break the Bunty throw. He's down to 183 in this leg. Bunty's back on 299 less this visit, and he's looking at the 19s from the very get-go. He's got 4 of them. Can he get 7 19s? He can.
133.
Nicely done.
Well,
but it is a bogey number.
Yeah. So all the hard work's undone there a bit, but I don't suppose he had much choice
97.
once he'd missed the second one.
Well, Doby's down to 86, so what pressure can Bunting inflict from 166? Well, a single one is poor. Good treble 20 in response. Plenty of room for more. 61 scored, so 105 left. Where's he going? 19s? Single 19 hit.
Well, he's left 86, the same as Doby. Not for the first time. They both left 52, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the 54 for 32 to lead 4-2. Oh, it's right on the wire, and it's a blocker.
54.
And he's gone further away, as Bunting did on double 8 in the previous leg. So Bunty, what can he do with 86? Can he find the treble 18 as Chris did? He can. So he's got 2 darts at double 16. Another blocker. And another one that can't find it.
Almost identical turns. So Doby to break throw and lead 4-2 in a race to 6. This is our opening match of Premier League Night 7 in Cardiff. And Doby does find it, pins it with dart 1, leads 4-2, has the darts to make it 5-2 and go within 1. Surely he can find just one big leg from someone. I think his best leg so far tonight's a 15 darter in leg 2.
Doby starts leg 7 with a 140 on throw, 4-2 up. Bunty's really got to dig deep here, and he's looking for a maximum and pins it beautifully. Throwing those darts with real intent, it seems to me, in that first visit. Fired up by his failures on double 16 and double 8 in the previous 2 legs.
Yeah, and then a 140 followed up by an awful 41 from Doby. So Bunty has stolen the darts here in leg 7. Single 20, finds cover on the 19s. Only 1 though, but that takes him down to 225. Doby back on 320.
Doby's record against Bunty's pretty good, isn't it, Mace? You were looking it up before.
Yeah,
12-4.
12-4. Played each other twice this year, one win apiece. But that is quite a comprehensive record.
And Bunty looking to eat into 225 and get down to a finish. Well, 125 is what he's coming back for, because Doby's back on 220, less these.
Yeah, he'd have been saying to himself 180 to leave tops. He's found 80, only a ton, so he's down to 120. Bunty will be going ball here. If he hits the ball, he'll stay there for a 25 and hopefully leave a bit of room. But it's a 25, so treble 20. Misses it again. Dance that low dart.
Yeah.
Great adjustment with dart 3s. Left double 10.
But Doby wants single, treble, double on the 20s. 120. Hits the single just underneath the red
Might go
bit.
ball.
Oh, he went for the 20 again, the treble, and hit a single, so 80 left. He's umming and ahhing on the oche. He's moving left and right. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? went for treble 16 and hit singles. So
yeah, the treble 16 and left 32. So another breaker throw opportunity, this time to Bunty, double 10.
And the crowd getting behind Bunty. He's inside, up to double 5. On the wide, good marker though. Oh, and again, the third dart is exactly the same distance from the bed as the previous one on the outside.
And all the negative thoughts created by the previous 6 weeks are rearing their ugly head here. Double 16 for Doby, 1 dart in hand. Nowhere near.
No, about an inch inside. It's very true though. You see that, the livery of the sponsors on the stage. Oh, he hits single 5, he wants 3 for... Oh, he's bust it.
Missed the big 3.
He was going for 3 for double 1 Bunting, and he hit 19 next door. I don't know, where you walk on that Premier League station, it's got its own colour scheme that's slightly different from all the others,
yep.
And it gets in your head, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
As Doby pins double 8 to go 5-2 up. And now Bunting has to be perfect from here on in.
Listen, Bunty doesn't have any quit in him. He wouldn't even know how to spell the word, you know, he's just not of his nature. But at what point do you not necessarily throw the towel in, but you just sort of unintentionally just take your eye off it and think, oh, and every week it becomes a chore rather than an experience.
Well, he's got 2 legs on the board tonight, and he's just dropped his second dart, having hit a lovely treble 20 with the first.
Might be doing a Gezi.
He might be. Those darts are a heavier gauge than what we were used to with Bunty for so long. He had the lovely maximum. Had the lightest darts on the tour for quite some considerable time, Bunty.
Yeah, went up 50%, which is remarkable. 180, followed by a 180 by Doby, down to 221. Leads 5-2 in a race to 6. Bunty 2-2-2. Minus these.
Richie Beno's favourite score. Gets a steady ton there, Bunty, so he's down to a finish. What can Doby do from 221? Oh, perfect first dart, right in the middle. One sits just underneath it, and another maximum takes him down to 41 for the match.
4 18s and ball for Bunty. There's a single. Oh, doesn't find the treble, so Doby will be back. 9 for double 16 to win this one, 6-2.
This one's very quickly got away from Stephen Bunting. Chris Dobey wants double 16 for the match and only needs 1 dart. After all the trouble they've had on the outer ring, it only needs 1 dart at 16s for Chris Dobey to wrap up the match and leave Stephen Bunting rock bottom of the Premier League table, still with no points. But that's Doby's first win since getting to the final in Belfast on night 1. So Doby is through to face the winner of our next match, Mace, which is Luke Humphries against Michael van Gerwen.
He'll have to play a lot better than he did in that one, because listen, that was, you can't really dress it up. It was pretty smelly. It was fairly erratic, and Bunty ended up with an 87 average, and Doby just a 90. But a win's a win. But ultimately, whoever comes through our next one, which I expect to be Luke Humphries on the back of what MVG's been doing of late, Doby's going to have to find another couple of gears, isn't he?
He is. Well, Chris Murphy's going to join Chris Mason here in the commentary box for that next quarter-final, Luke Humphries against Michael van Gerwen. But in our first quarter-final, Chris Dobey, Hollywood, has gone through and he's got 2 points guaranteed for the night to add to the 3 he's already got. He has beaten Stephen Bunting here on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel by 6 legs to 2. And when it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. That's where NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro steps up to the oche. Just think of it as your personal referee, keeping dodgy websites and malware and phishing scams from sneaking into your setup. It even blocks those pesky ads so you won't get distracted mid-leg. Just go to nordvpn.com/dartsvpn and you get 2 years plus 4 months free, and you get a birthday deal as well. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Stay here on the YouTube channel. Humphries MVG next with Mason Murph.